Hello and welcome to Wyoming, a state that has the smallest per square mile of people in the United States, with it being 5.9 miles and a population of about 600,000 people. And with that amount of people, not that many stories of people from Wyoming get out, with most of the stories from people from out of state, like Ernest Hemingway and the Clark Forks Valley, Wyoming, which takes place in Clark Forks Valley, Yellowstone National Park, which I'll read off a part of his description of Wyoming. Then you remember coming on 3 grizzlies in a high country at the head of the Crandall Creek. You hear a crashing in timber and thought it was a cow elk bolting. Then there they were, in the broken shadow, running with an ease. Lurching smoothness, the afternoon sun making their coats a soft, bristling silver. Hemingway is painting an idea of a perfect place with the animals that seem magical, but that brother bear-like description you got isn't a good description of what a grizzly bear is like. We think of them more like as a wild animal that is more than willing to make the Saw movies be a kid's movie. But if we compare it to Randy Littleshield's paper about her Wyoming, there is a big and sad difference compared to Hemingway's magical and upbeat story. I decided to go back home. As I passed the park on my way home, I gave the stray dogs something to eat, since they followed me back. Hunger in their eyes and heart, I walked into the darkness towards my streetlight, about 2 miles away. I slipped into the back door like a shadow and climbed in my bed, opening my window to let the night in. I waited for sleep. Another pointless summer night. Unlike Hemingway's point of view, Littleshield is showing that Wyoming isn't a magical-looking place. She is giving the viewer the knowledge that, just like their state, we have the sad parts as well. The best way to imagine Littleshield's story is that her story is the original fairy tale, and Hemingway's is the Disney adaptation. There are a few ways to explain why stories of non-Wyomingites are better known than the Wyomingites that show the possibly true Wyoming, which brings us to a narrative and otherness by Dr. Zulika Zelios. Without permission from the dominant social group to speak, marginalized people cannot tell their own story, cannot define themselves, but rather submit to descriptions assigned to them by the dominant group. So, not only are they robbed of their voice, they are also robbed of their identity, their sense of self, and their sense of value. Within Wyoming, we have a very good understanding of what it's like to be a Wyomingite, but we don't really get to talk about what it is like to be a Wyomingite. We usually get ideas put on us, some of which are, 1, the state isn't real, and 2, the state is real, but no one lives here. Due to the big size of the state, and it being the smallest populated state by all, with the small amount of jobs as well, the common idea is that no one lives here. Okay, so now what is my view on Wyoming? Well, I do have to agree with Hemingway's point of view on Wyoming landscapes, like the view in the mountains. Some of the wildlife, if looked at the right spots, could be cool, but that's all the things I agree with him about. But I like Littleshield's more down-to-earth point of view on Wyoming's, with the bad neighborhoods, the paranoid people, and the dirt and weeds. So, where would my Wyoming be? Well, I don't really have a spot, more of a general area. I'm going to say Lander to Du-Bois, because you get a mix of Littleshield's more realistic Wyoming along with Hemingway's more magical view on Wyoming landscapes and animals.